unwanted light. In code we groove, seeking bugs to fight. Eyes red raw, but the vision's tight. Coffee cups stacking high near the edge. Ideas weave through the mind like a pledge. Silent struggle cracking complex hedge. Perfection's law makes the brain wedge. Every line a step in the grand design. Each commit a mark where paths align. In the realm of ones and zeros we shine. Digital stone where we etch our sign. Endless loop seeking that pure delight. Algorithms dance in black and white. Variables twist till they fit right. Logic's tune playing through the night. Debugging trails where the brave hearts go. Mind solder to the endless coast flow. Victory in the simplest show. In the matrix where geniuses grow. Through trials and errors we ride the wave. Bloodshot eyes, yet we are not enslaved. With grit and wisdom so much we've braved. Every function saved, we feel more engraved.
Endless nights, eyes heavy, mind's a shattered state. Chasing every deadline, feeling every weight. Coffee stains on paper, shadows on the wall. Every sacrifice a question, wondering if I'll fall. Pressure mounting higher, can't escape the grind. Lost in this obsession, peace I cannot find. Every step I take, another piece breaks free. Burnout's closing in, consuming me. I'm drowning in the darkness, can't find my way out. Every breath is heavier, filled with doubt. Longing for a moment, a place to breathe. Burnout's laments, I need to leave. Sweat drips on the keyboard, fingers numb and sore. Mind's a battlefield, fighting demons at the core. Every line I write feels like a battle won, but the war inside me rages on and on. In the silence of the night I hear my heart cry, seeking solace in the shadows, wondering why. Can't break these chains of endless toil and pain. Yearning for the sunlight to feel whole again. I'm drowning in the darkness, can't find my way out. Every breath is heavier, filled with doubt. Longing for a moment, a place to breathe. Burnout's laments, I need to
Jokes are flying left and right, chats fueling every line. We stumble on a glitch, but laugh instead of whine. The music pulses louder with every hype-filled beat. We're weaving heartfelt hooks into this pop-punk treat. Hearts race faster than the broadband can take. Lights flash across the webcam, we're ready to break through every crash, every lag. We stand side by side, neon buzz and pop-punk vibes, unstoppable ride. Hey! Another follow sparks the stage, we are live! The glitchy overlays keep our spirits on the rise. In this stream of neon dreams, we'll shout it till we thrive. With every new connection, we are live. We're wrapped in laughter, electric momentum, hype trains rolling, no chance to slow them. The chat's on fire, the cameras glare, we're living in the moment without a care. Hey! Another follow sparks the stage, we are live! The glitchy overlays keep our spirits on the rise. In this stream of neon dreams, we'll shout it till we thrive. With every new connection, we are live. We are live, we are live. Neon hearts beating through the night. Yeah, we are live. Pizza boxes scattered round, scribbles in the margins, ideas swirling faster than the coffee that's dissolving. 3 a.m. again, eyes are wired to my screen. Gotta get these thoughts out, feed the frantic pop-punk dream. Hey, we're writing legends with greasy pen strokes, tearing through power chords, fueled by silly jokes. This late night mania is all that we need. Our digital destiny, pop-punk guaranteed. Sauce-stained brainstorming, we're dancing in our chairs, laughing at how random these scribbles turn to dares. We'll code them in the morning, but for now we riff and play, chugging energy in tandem, forging madness till day. Night air humming loud, adrenaline's on blast, creativity's exploding, we're living way too fast. We're making something epic from these scraps of dough and ink. When the sunrise hits, we'll watch this legend sink. Hey, we're writing legends with greasy pen strokes, tearing through power chords, fueled by silly jokes. This late night mania is all that we need. Our digital destiny, pop-punk guaranteed. We're shouting out the lines, half delirious, half inspired. Pizza boxes keep the stories from being retired. Every scribble gets a chord, every chord gets a cheer. We're unstoppable tonight, who needs sleep here? Hey, we're writing legends with greasy pen strokes, tearing through power chords, fueled by silly jokes. This late night mania is all that we need. Our digital destiny, pop-punk guaranteed. We'll laugh at all the chaos and the anthems we've devised. When this caffeine crash comes, we'll dream the next surprise.
Static pulses in my headphones, the camera's set to roll. I feel the weight of all these usernames, I'm losing self-control. Heartbeat sync with sense the grind, I'm fighting off the fear. They show up for the show, but do I deserve them here? My voice might crack, my thoughts might fade. Still I cling to the screen, I can't turn away. A million eyes watch me break or shine. Every second crossfire, chasing validation. Real-time feedback fuels this twisted fascination. Will I let them down, or can I rise above the doubt? I'm trapped in the spotlight, I can't live without. Mic check, 1, 2. The chat blows up, spilling secrets, I'm addicted to the rush. A flood of hearts on the screen, but it's never enough. Spikes in adrenaline, then I feel the crash rough. Am I just a puppet for the cheers and the hype? Holding on to every follower like it's saving my life. Bass reverberates, rattling nerves in my chest. My fear screams through the cables, no place left to rest. I'm caught in the crossfire, chasing validation. Real-time feedback fuels this twisted fascination. Will I let them down, or can I rise above the doubt? I'm trapped in the spotlight, I can't live without. The bass reverberates, rattling nerves in my chest. My fear screams through the cables, no place left to rest. Staring at the lens, a million thoughts converge. Ego battles, empathy, anxiety on the verge. Still I won't abandon this electric thread of hope. Even when the fear creeps in, I refuse to let go. I'm caught in the crossfire, chasing validation. Real-time feedback fuels this twisted fascination. Will I let them down, or can I rise above the doubt? I'm trapped in the spotlight, I can't live without. Lights on me, keep the feet alive. I can't let go. Lines of code reflect the state inside my head. Each function calls for balance where my thoughts have fled. Reorganizing systems, both digital and real. Seeking harmony and clarity in how I feel. Breaking down the barriers, cleaning up the mess. Refactoring every part, striving for success. Patterns emerging from the chaos, finding my own way. Turning over a new leaf with each passing day. Refactor my mind, redefine who I am. Rebuild my habits, let the old ways disband. Coping with the struggles, finding strength inside. Renewed and revitalized, let my spirit rise. Optimizing pathways, streamlining my flow.
It's you can hear me now, right?
My sink is overflowing. Got no time to scrub a dish. I'd rather slay a dragon made of
This whole time I was talking, and my microphone was not picking it up for some reason.
but I'm lost in epic quest. My chores can wait another day. I'm sure they'll pass the test. Hey,
Alright, so it did get the not ready, and then it eventually did get it on ready. You thought I was concentrating? Nope, microphone just wasn't working. How's it going, Naya? What are you up to?
wasted days. The dust on every shelf reflects my questionable pride. I'd laugh it off and keep on typing. Got no shame to hide. My neighbors hear me shouting each time the code compiles. But
Sort of these bunnies don't.
program then fold
They just go wherever they want. They don't care if there's collisions or not.
reality is not
Making models for elsewhere places.
but I'll pretend I'm AFK 'cause I've got lines of code
So before I go through all this, I want to leave,
brewing.
respawn, and make sure it goes to the intro again.
I'll stay here till morning, fueled by pixel flames. Hey,
And then I want to get all the way through to where that first checkpoint is. And make sure it's going to...
so call me lazy, say I'm stuck in a fantasy phase. I'm building worlds with these lines. Never wasted days.
make sure it's going to start us at the checkpoint once we get to it.
Mop the floor.
Can you get into these buildings? Here, I'll give you a tour of what we got so far.
Self-deprecating madness keeps me feeling so alive.
So we start inside one of the buildings.
Glory, forget that laundry pile.
Right, we got like our bedroom.
Is never time to file. So
Just get rid of that so it's not in the way. A little living space with the TV, some shelves, our kitchen, table. It's like we left some fish out on the counter from last night and some soup. Maybe some ramen. This is just where our character lives. We got like the commons area. There is a spaceship that flies by. You can't get into any of the other buildings right here. All these doors don't open. Is that other players? No, those are all NPCs. This here, just some natural foliage. I threw my bunny in here so he can hop around. We got the Last Stand Saloon. Which is upstairs. Down here is just kind of like a shop. Got some things on display. Hopefully, eventually, you'll be able to buy stuff in the shop. Up here is the saloon. And part of the game Because you have to come here to the saloon anyways to talk to this person. So you're not really picking up quests from this guy. This person's more story, kind of setting the scene a little bit, giving you the rundown of what you need to do. And then when you come out here, this is kind of, so this is as far as we've kind of gotten so far, logic-wise of the game, is that dialogue. So this dialogue here is not real game dialogue. But this person is where you would get some quests, which are some tasks you can do around town to try to get some money. I haven't really worked out what all of those quests are going to be yet. But that right there should have been our checkpoint. So next time I log in, I should just log in. Or next time I start up, I should just start right here. So yeah, we have all the factory, mining, whatever stuff over there. You can't get into any of this stuff yet. I don't want to say yet. I don't think you're ever going to be able to get into any of this stuff. This is all going to be closed up. I don't think there's any part of the story that takes you in there. You do have like the commons area. And another little commons area over here. We have the medical bay. So you can check in at the counter. There's somebody in surgery back there that you can just sit here and I guess watch their surgery. I think some of the stuff is interactable, in that it just like kind of plays some audio. This person just kind of passed out on the couch. They're not feeling too well. Down this way, we have the junkyard.
No more illusions, no more spiraling inside. The fix is found and I'm finally alive.
And then we're getting out to the stuff that's not fully fleshed out yet. But down here, there's like the spaceport. This is where that ship from the beginning came in and landed. And just kind of spaceporty looking buildings. That's pretty much it. There's nothing out here yet. It's just open. There will be stuff out there eventually. But That's going to be tough to get the rest of that done, because all of this was designed by FIFA, who now works for Barb. So I don't know how much time he's going to have to help me with my level design anymore. Then this is the place we actually have to go for the quest that we're working on developing right now. It's not fleshed out, but we have a little mine. The whole town is like a desolate mining town. I come down here and collect rocks. I got my inventory, so I got 1 rock in my inventory. I haven't done the logic for the rest of this quest yet. But yeah, we built this inventory. I think this was actually the last thing that I built before the Stamp Jam started. Alright, so let's test real quick. If I reload back in, am I going to start back at the beginning, or will I start at my checkpoint? Start at my checkpoint, so that's good. I don't have to go through all of the intro stuff every time now. And then as the storyline of the game gets built out, we'll just do various checkpoints throughout. But here's the probably the best view of the whole map, just from up here. You kind of see the whole town. You see all the backdrop. I do think if I come up here, the ship's gonna go again. Yeah, there it goes. So that is from a trigger up here. Which I guess depending on if that ship becomes important or not to the storyline, I may need to have that ship just start over there if you're not starting at the intro. The inventory persists, so I still have my 1 rock. My quests aren't quite aligned because I don't have a quest at all right now. So let's see if we can fix that. So this is what sets the checkpoint. This is what sets the quest that we're on. You didn't know it could be done in Eevee? So there's actually 2 ways to do it. They added the gameplay items, which you could do it with gameplay items now. That is probably the cleaner way of doing things. With the exception of gameplay items don't work in single player right now. So really my inventory now is just a bunch, well, right now it's just one, but it is just an advanced per player number for each possible inventory item you could have. So it just stores that value, and then the inventory UI is just built based off of those values. Don't need those logs anymore because this is working. I do need we'll do like that. And this needs to be this event. When this event is triggered, it will trigger the start of this quest. Let's put this down here like so. Now, if I go back in, I have my objective in the top left now. And I should, hopefully, I can't talk to Amber. I should also not be able to talk to Jax, I think. But let's see if that is true. No, I can still talk to Jax. Why can I do that?
I've been chasing this too long. When the noise in my head tries to bury me again, I'll remember this anthem and rise above the din. I'm breaking through midnight, meltdown turning into light.
That would be talk to Jax, start quest 1, Jax blip off, Jax blip on. So that's based off start quest 1 and talk to Jax. What triggers start quest 1? Intro cinematic complete is here. Start quest ID 1. Start quest ID 1 is doing something over here. Start quest ID. Okay, so start quest 1 is just happening when the intro cinematic is complete. Do I want that to happen? So even still, I think the problem is just that my camera to slow down. That this is on by default, and it should not be on by default. It should only come on when start quest 1 event fires, which is what this should be doing. On, off, yep. So now, I should not be able to talk to Jax. Correct, I cannot talk to Jax. Let's go see if I'm able to collect the rocks again. That should be enabled when the same event that's giving the objective in the top left there should be enabling this rock. Rocks added to inventory. I got 2 of them in my inventory now. Alright, so I think that's working pretty good. So we got checkpoints. So now what we need to do is, hopefully, I didn't break this too much, but this should be my oh, why is that? Why is that rock part of my inventory UI logic? It's really strange. I want to add this, all of these rocks down here. There should be a third one right there. Bring this over about there. I know that looks horribly sloppy, but that's fine for now. Move this around. I need this guy here. Get a gate node in here. Open this gate. It'll be closed by default. opens when this event triggers. We want to receive notifications here. On value updated, we want to activate this gate. So what the goal is here is when this quest starts, we want to start listening for rocks. We're actually going to do a get value. That. That's our checkpoint. Checkpoint is make sure we got our player ID reference there. Pass that player ID reference into here. Which we will also do the same this side. So, nothing in this game is that far fleshed out yet. The idea right now with collecting things is more to sell than it is to craft with. So you'll collect things and be able to sell back to the merchants like Amber for credits. And the goal is that, at least for this chapter of the game, is the whole goal is to just one off this planet. So you're trying to get enough money to hire a captain to take you off of this planet. So I don't know. I mean, there will probably be a little bit of combat at some point, but there's not going to be a whole lot of combat in chapter 1. Now that's going to change for the later chapters. But chapter 1 is kind of more just setting up the story, building out some game mechanics and things like that. Do I have room for it? I mean, it's quite a bit of room left. So I don't have a whole plan for like a gear system. Probably do we have something like player keys that players can move to another instance and have combat off of here. Come back to this arc and completion is known. There's not an easy way to do it, but there is a way to do it, depending on what information you need to know from the other arc. If you just need to know whether they completed it or not, we can do that. If there's like some other minor piece of data that you need to know, like if you want to know, I don't know, how many kills they got, we could probably do that too. But if you want it to share like a whole bunch of data of like all the stats and everything that happened in the other arc. That would be really hard to do right now. But yeah, you could do something where you send them off to a separate arc to do like a mission, then they come back here and you would know whether it was success or fail. We can do that. It's not super intuitive how to do it, but it is something that it is something that I put a fair amount of thought in how to do it. And I haven't actually tried it yet to know if it works, but I'm pretty sure that it works. I mean, now that you mention it, I'm wondering. I mean, it's a lot of. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something like that in this art just to test out the functionality and see if it works. I don't know. When we get that far, we'll experiment. Yeah, I mean I think the whole idea that they want is for you to be able to link arcs together. They haven't added a way to share like data between arcs. I haven't actually tested, so gameplay items are persisted. So if you award a gameplay item to somebody, it's persistent in that arc. But the simple fact that, it's like if I get a gameplay item here, like every gameplay item I've ever made is available here, whether or not it was made in this arc or not. So what I don't know is if I award a gameplay item in this arc, then check for it in a different arc, does it persist through arcs? And I don't think it does. I imagine it would work similar to the way that advanced variables work. But I just haven't tested it yet. Being able to pass data in the arc, what is the arc portal? Either one of these. So if I had an arc portal or my arc portal, if I had a way to pass some kind of data in here, that would be nice. But the trick is, so the trick for right now is you have spawn coordinates when you use the arc portal. This doesn't work if you use a my arc portal, but you can use an arc portal and just put your own arc ID into it. The my arc portal just gives you a nice drop down to select your other arcs, but if you use the arc portal and you use the spawn coordinates, you can have specific coordinates in the arc that they're portaling to that mean different things. So like if I wanted to know if you if I wanted to know whether you completed an arc or not, right? I could do like X is 10 if you completed it, and X is 20 if you didn't complete it. And then in the other arc, I could just have trigger volumes at those locations that tell me where you portaled to. Yeah, that's my fiance over there. She's playing. I imagine she's probably playing Lethal Company, but I don't know for sure.
Twitch flame burning bright, game dev till the dead of night. Follows rolling like thunder. In the game we all wander. Twitch flame.
But yeah, you can use the coordinates to spawn in different areas, and then use triggers to pick up on where that person spawned in at to know what happened. But because you can only have 3 different numbers you can use, you can only correlate 3 different values. I'm sure you could come up with some like huge complicated matrix of things to make them all mean different things, but that's just too much. But the fact that you could just get like a pass or fail status of another arc is pretty neat that we could do it. But it would be nice if you could just pass variables or something through the arc portal too. Does this work? Does what work? No, I don't have a lurk command. I actually don't even know if my bot is in here, to be honest. Oh, yep, he is in there. But no, he does not have alert command. Well, thanks for lurking. Have fun in your Lethal Company. You may or may not hear more random screaming in the background as she gets scared. Alright, so what were we doing? This guy over here. So once this quest starts, I want to care about how many rocks you have. So we're going to get the number of rocks you currently have. And then we're going to receive notifications on updates. And when you have 3, we are going to trigger this event. I'm going to try to keep hooking up all the player IDs to the events going forward, because I will probably need them. What I also need, turn in rocks to amber. Do like so. And then what this needs to do is also make the Amber quest available. And we'll come down here and we are going to open this gate of this event. Which we're just gonna do. You got all the rocks. I don't know. We're gonna do a whole overhaul of the dialogue here one day soon, so it doesn't matter what it says right now. But just to make sure that this works,
I'm feeling the pressure, but we won't let it break. Holding on to hope for all our sakes. We've wrestled
so what should happen now is I should already have 2 rocks. If I go get the 3rd rock, that should trigger the quest to change to turn them in. And I know this is like a super basic quest, but it's more about getting the quest system in place with the dialogues, the turn-ins, the pickups, all that stuff. Then we can, you know, make a more substance to the quest. Need to pull that out some so that health bar isn't in there. Picking up that rock didn't work. Let's see, does this one work? I'm guessing that something with duplicating it broke something, because picking up that one works. I have 3, and it didn't change quest. Didn't change because I did greater than, not greater than, or equal to. Which is what I do want, is greater than or equal to. So now hopefully when I log in, it should jump straight to turning them in. Which it did not. Why did that not work? Magi rocks start. Just getting triggered here. This here opens the gate, calls the get with the ID. Let's see if that makes a difference. No. Why is that not making a difference? Let's get our log. Opening gate. Got value. This one will be enough. This one will be not enough. So let's see what happens with those logs. Hey, Magi. Opening value, got value, enough. So if I got enough, why then is this not working?
You're not just clicks and follows. There's more behind the glass. Validation's fleeting currency. Gone so very fast.
Should be changing my objective.
Define us by a shallow scrolling sum. We'll lose the spark inside us. The soul we're running from. We want more than numbers blinking on our screen.
Why is that? I am collecting your rocks again. I'm actually trying to turn in your rocks. Let's try this. You know, sometimes these nodes don't like you attaching multiple things to them. We'll hook that to all of those. And we'll also hook this to this log. Bring down here that says enough. And our true here, trigger this guy. I only have one thing that turns this objective off, so it shouldn't matter. Still getting the enough log, but my objective's not changing. I can talk to Amber. So say you got all the rocks. So that part's working, but the objective's not. It's being set right. Which is annoying. So why does that, why does this objective not go? Let's put this string into here and log it. I also want to put this string into here and log it, and to see what order those are being triggered. Yeah, see, turning rocks to amber is being triggered before collect Magimetal's rocks. That's why the objective is incorrect. How that's happening, I have no idea. Because this event is our checkpoint that triggers the text here and this event at the same time, and then this event has to go through all this logic. But regardless, we're going to put a sequence node in here so this doesn't happen. Text, then event. So that should enforce our order. Now we have our turn-in rocks objective. You can even see in the logs, it collected Magi Metals racks, or collect Magi Metals racks. I'm pointing to my monitor, like you guys can see me. Collect Magi Metals racks, and then the open gate stuff down here. So, that is working in the order that we want it to. Have my inventory, my 3 rocks. So I'm just thinking what comes next. Oh, I do need to fix the rock pickups, actually. That's what I need to go do. I need to figure out why only one of the 3 rock nodes down here works. This one, I need to adjust that so the bar's not in the wall. But it doesn't work. It doesn't give me a rock. Same with this one. Let's figure that out. It's gonna be here, down. Right. Game logic. Let me. I want that one. Very specifically want this one. I'm just gonna pull this out here real quick. Let's figure out why. Interact pressed. All that. Health bar goes up. I do need to actually turn these off, but we're not going to worry about that right now. I don't see the event that awards the rocks, because for whatever reason, not part of the group. Let's go into our game logic. Let's get into here. Let's add these guys. Rid of that because that's broken. It's missing stuff. Over here. Rid of that because that's broken, missing stuff. Now, put this over here like so. We will move this health bar out here a little bit. Then move this whole thing in there so it's not too outrageously sticking out. Put that bar right there. duplicate this again. But over here. So let's go in here. Let's grab our health bar. This one. Position this a little bit farther out here. Alright, let's test those. Alright, rocks added to inventory. I got 4 now. Rocks added to inventory. I have 5. Then rocks added to inventory. I have 6. So all of those work. I will need to turn those off. Once you have all of the rocks, or not even once you have all of the rocks, probably just when the quest is ready to be turned in. Just turn those off, or maybe not. Or maybe I don't care if you go back down there and farm rocks. Maybe I put them on like a timer, so you can go down there every 5 or 10 minutes or something and collect rocks. We're gonna do something in here. This person here is eventually going to give you some kind of quest to do to help out in the medical area. So I think it's going to be various different quests. Like Amber only wants so many rocks. So you can't just infinitely sell rocks to her to get money. But after you sell rocks, she's going to want something different. And then you have to go get something different. Then after you get that thing, she's going to want something different. And so you might have to come over here to the scrapyard and maybe dig for some scraps. Or maybe you got to go down to the spaceport down there and try to get some kind of material or something. I don't know. But you'll just have to do various different things that will take you to different parts of the map. And then I can even do something like maybe once some of this out here is fleshed out, that maybe there's some bad guys out there that you have to fight through to get to one of the items. So there might be a little bit of combat in there. Right now you don't have any weapons, so maybe not only do you need enough money to get off the planet, but you need enough money to come up here to the shop and buy your first weapon. So maybe we'll add a weapon you can buy from the shop here. Then you take that weapon to go get something else that will get you more money. I don't know. We'll need to get that to remove the rocks from your inventory, which shouldn't be too difficult to do. But we actually haven't built that logic out yet. So let's do that over here. So this here is our ward item logic. Now we need our remove item logic, which is going to be very, very similar. To this on value updated player ID. Grab the same stuff here. This guy we're going to replace with a subtract. This would be on get value subtract 1 and then update the value. Then on value updated, we'll trigger this. This will be removed. Yeah, removed from inventory. And this is a string concatenation, so we want this text here for A. And then we want this text to be red. Nice shade of red, like so. So hopefully that should handle our remove item. So I can just do a remove rock 3 times. Fortunately, that's not going to show 3 messages, I don't think. I'm just thinking if I can do instead of having separate display text logic, can I do like a queue system where we'll just queue them up and play them? And I mean, I can do that. That's exactly what I'm doing with the dialogue. Just queues up the dialogue and then plays it with a delay. However, this one would be slightly different. It's not really all that different. I think we can probably do something similar to what we're doing for dialogue. And I mean, it's only this many nodes for the dialogue. No. This is the dialogue. This is just the dialogue system in general. So all of the dialogue flows through this. So like over here, all I have to do is each block here is one dialogue that takes in 5 different text fields. I don't know why that's all the way out there, but it takes in, and this is one of the, I know I bring this up all the time. This is one of those things where that macro node is going to come in handy, because I can make macro node interface for this. So all this is just one node instead of all this stuff to make it work. But I take in the speaker and then 4 lines of text. Up to 4 lines of text. And then I trigger an event called add dialogue. And what that does is it comes over here. This is where it gets those 5 pieces of text, the speaker, the 4 lines of text, and it queues them up. It puts them in a list. So I can just trigger that. It's like this whole chain of dialogue is the dialogue for talking to Jax at the beginning. So each line here is like, this is Jax talking, and then Eli talking, then Jax talking, then Eli talking, then Jax talking, and then Eli talking. It just runs all of those at once and queues them up in the list. And then here, it just uses that list as a queue to where it'll grab the next thing in the list, display it on the screen, wait 8 seconds or whatever I have the dialogue set to. I think it's 8 seconds. Yeah, 8 seconds. Then it gets rid of that, grabs the next set of text that's in the list, displays that, waits 8 seconds, scraps that, grabs the next one until it runs out of text, and then it fires this event that says the dialogue's finished, because it got through everything that's been queued up. And this is one of those things where this whole block here, I probably don't even need a macro node because this is all kind of self-contained. I can publish this as a stamp, and then I can package this part up into a stamp with the macro node, where instead of needing all these nodes, you just need one node that you can pass 5 strings to.
Down with every brand new song. The chat is wild and rowdy, and
Which one is the you complete X amount of rock collection? Well, there's not quite dialogue for that yet, but these 2 lines of dialogue is Amber telling you to go. Magimetal's lost all of his rocks. Can you please go to the abandoned mine and gather rocks? It is of utmost importance. And then Eli responds with, "Don't worry, I got you." And then the rest are just blank because it's not there. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So after the text goes, I listen for the dialogue finished event, and then that's what triggers the objective to update. Triggers the objective to update, and for now it starts listening for how many rocks that you have in your inventory to know when you have 3 to flag you to go back and talk to Amber. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it's doing. And then when you come back to Amber, after you have the rocks, it will trigger this set of dialogue, which we just wrote out. You got all the rocks. And then Eli says, "Yes, I did." And it doesn't do anything because we haven't built that out. But that will update the objective, which will probably do a similar thing with this objective node, is trigger the solve event, so it's not so much spaghetti going to it. Part of my goal with this arc is to figure out how much of this logic I can break down into like generic chunks of logic that I can then create stamps when the macro node comes out, put a clean interface for each stamp, so it's basically just one node that other people have to interact with, and then just publish all this stuff out there.
posters on the basement walls, cords tangled on the floor. We're forging pixel kingdoms behind a creaky door. We're skipping rules and deadlines, running on a wild spree.
Yeah, I've not actually ever used UEFN, so I guess I don't have that perspective of how they're doing things over there. But I do think we can package some of this stuff up and make it easier for the rest of the community.
Neon cables crossing paths. We're stacking lines of code like some mania-inspired math. Rebellious hearts pounding loud with each bug that we debug. We'll let that glitchy fix.
Which would be really nice.
Long spark we love.
That's one of the reasons that I constantly harp about the macro node. It's because I do have a bunch of stuff like this that I can package up already and publish, but like I don't want to have to document like all this. This is how you interact with this thing. You have to connect all these different nodes, yada yada yada. I want to just hook up a macro node to that, give you one node with all the interfaces that you need in it that you can just hook up and it works.
Hey, we're building worlds in this messy highway. Strumming power chords till the chaos lights our way. Test player madness proves we're chasing every dream. A basement revolution that defies all reason schemes.
That wasn't me sneezing, by the way.
Echo through the cracks in the floor. The name
So yeah, hopefully,
more.
I think
Bug there, we don't even care. The spirit of rebellion's in the basement
Think-
air.
I think Cam said they're hoping for March sometime for that patch. So next month at some point. We'll hope. She's probably gonna have about 12 more. That's just how she sneezes. Once one comes, there's like 12 of them in a row. So I do think we can do this part with the objective node pretty straightforward. So we're actually going to do that right now. We'll just take an advanced string called update objective per arc offline, because this doesn't need to be persistent anyway. We're going to just duplicate this for now. Then we're just going to put this text on updated show. Receive notification on update. That should be all we need to then hook that up to there instead of to there. The storm, our hearts catch every beat. We're punching chords and writing codes on borrowed time. This would be there instead of there. This would be from here. Instead of here. And then one more. There. Instead of there. And then the only other thing we need to do, I had this one spot where I was hiding it. Since I don't need any text, we can just do this is update objective, hide objective as an event. We'll just hide the objective here. Duplicate this, and that's coming all the way from this event, right? We can do like that. Get rid of that. That all together. Now, that. Oh, and I guess just a note. When Lucas was talking about their wireless macros, I'm pretty sure this is kind of what they were talking about. Just making things trigger off events. So there's less lines. And it's event driven. But then for more complex things, you can put macros around them to make interacting with them easier. So I just deleted all those lines to make this right. Hopefully, I didn't break anything. So hopefully I still have my objectives. which I do. They're still showing up there.
In the depths of my despair, I find a spark, a glimmer of the strength that lies within the dark, breaking free from the chains of doubt and fear, embracing who I am, shedding every tear. I don't belong here, echoing screams inside my mind. I don't belong here, breaking through the walls I've confined. I don't belong here, feel the rage, let it ignite. I don't belong here, forces in the dead.
This can just kind of come over here. I have no idea why I have 2 gameplay item nodes over here. I'm just gonna get rid of those because I have no idea why they're there.
Embracing who we are, setting ourselves free. I don't belong here, echoing screams, turning to cries of mine. Breaking through the
Don't need that log, don't need that log, don't need that log.
I don't belong here. Victory over internal cries. I face the shadow.
Just trying to clean things up a little bit here. Why are these? It's not duplicates there, so I don't know why they're kind of doing that thing. I guess those ones are too. This a log? Yep, don't need that log. This. Let's bring down to here.
with an energy drink, chasing bugs down the rabbit hole I sink. Console's my diary, it spills my secrets.
It's a lot cleaner now.
No time for regrets. Syntax sugar makes my heart race fast. Callbacks and promises, hours fly past. Debug the mess, hit refresh and pray. Living the dream, pushing code every day. Control C, Control V, that's
If I can get
a raise of madness like a rock.
that stuff packaged up a little bit better,
Everywhere I see.
this will all be really clean. Here's a log. Why do I have a log here? We're gonna get rid of that log too.
Brackets and semicolons. Variable
Try to clean up our logs a bit so there's not random stuff being logged.
run wild. Breaking down logic like a mischievous
See, this was our checkpoint logic. I really should organize some of this.
calls in the middle of the night.
Alright, I mean, like outline it and label things to remember what does what.
So clean when I see the code running like a well-oiled machine. Control C, Control V, that's how we roll. A raise of madness like a rock and roll soul. If else if everywhere I see. In this digital world, I'm the coder of me.
Alright. So trying to think how I can manage this part. We're just gonna kind of build over here for a second. I think I would want 4 options. So this is left center. I would probably do like bottom 100, bottom 50, bottom 0, then top 50. So just to give an idea of what that means. I removed rocks from inventory. Let me 2 colors up in here. Added rocks to inventory. added rocks to inventory, and move rocks from inventory. The idea here would be that I can show up to 4 actions at a time. On the left side of the screen here. So adding things to the inventory, removing things from the inventory. And they would look like that. And that would show, I guess the logic would be, it would show the top one if there's only one thing to show. If there's a second thing to show, it would show the middle one, the top one and the second one. There's 3 things, the top, second, third, fourth things, that. If there's more than that, it'll show all 4 of those, and then when they go away, it'll pull from the queue of things that it needs to show and populate down the list again. What I would like to be able to do no, I can only set the font size. I was hoping I could set the opacity, so then I could have them fade out too. Only thing I can set with a number is the font size. I would need a string list. I would also need a color list. So I can do different colors for things. Then we would need an advanced string and an advanced color. Probably not gonna get. Yeah, well, so the color's not to make it fade out. The color's just, you know, green for adding stuff, red for removing stuff. Maybe at some point there'll be like a yellow for warnings or something. If they do ever give us the ability to change the opacity dynamically, then I could just add the fading out later. But like, I guess what I'm going to build here is going to be another one of those systems that I could just package up as a stamp. And then anyone who wants to have this like event log on the side of this screen could have it. So I need a string. And a color. Both of these, I don't know what I'm going to call these yet. But I'll think of names here at some point. We're not going to get this finished on this stream because I only got a few minutes left anyways. Can I actually clear out a color? No, it's always got to have a color. So we'll just default to white. Is that? Is my rotation not snapping? Oh, it is. I just have it really low. 0.5. Okay. There we go. Thought I was going crazy for a second. So these are our resets. These are going to be our events that come in. So when you want to add text, you're going to update a text, you're going to update a color. I'll go to these. Add list element. These guys down in here. When this gets activated, we're gonna update this in the list. When this gets activated, we're gonna update this into that list. This is just building our queue of texts and what color the text should be. We're going to want an event over here, which will in sequence. So I need a sequence node for this. Event 1 will activate these. And then sequence 2 is going to be to reset the value. So sequence 1, add them to the list. Sequence event 2, reset these to the default to prepare for the next set of things coming in. Get that in there like so. So that should give us the queuing. The ability to add text and a color to a queue. And then we just got to build out the logic to read from the queue and populate the texts. Which I think that's going to be next stream's task. Let's group this as event log. And yeah, Thursday stream, we'll finish that. The reading and displaying it from the list. And then once that's done, we can get rid of this stuff here and just tie it in to use this logic. So yeah, I think that's going to be where we wrap things up for right now. So thanks for hanging out, Naya. We'll be back Thursday at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can follow what I'm doing this time. That's good. I'm glad I'm explaining what I'm doing well. Sometimes I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm just kind of doing things and not explaining it well. So I don't know if anyone's used to nodes yet. It still definitely takes some real thought to translate. It's like my mental process is, all right, if I was just writing this in code, this is what I would do. And then it's, all right, how does that translate to the nodes that we have available? And sometimes that's digging through the nodes to see if we have something that's available that fits that need, because we are definitely limited on the nodes that we have. You love talking to yourself. It helps. It helps sometimes just talking things out loud. Yeah, I think that's the big thing for me, at least, is this is the first UGC platform I've really ever worked in. So I don't really know what the other platforms have to know what I'm missing out on. Which, I mean, is a good thing for me. Because I just don't know what I'm missing out on, I guess. It's like the ignorance is bliss kind of thing. I don't know what's out there, so I'm happy with what I got here. But there are definitely things that I would like to see improved anyways, regardless of that, so... Documentation is huge. I personally can't complain too much about the documentation for everywhere, simply because the fact that I am one of the wiki editors. So the fact that the wiki is missing documentation is just the fact that I haven't been doing my job. So I can't complain too much about the documentation. But that's also one of the reasons I want to try to live stream as much as I can. So maybe there's not documentation for how to do something, but maybe I can reference you to, or not you specifically, but maybe I can reference somebody to a stream where I did something similar. And they can watch me work through how I struggled through getting it to work. So that's my documentation. My entire VOD list is my documentation, because I don't do hardly any building it everywhere off stream. I keep it all for on stream. And the only exceptions for that are certain certain things that I want to keep as surprises for later on, but there's not too much of that. I try to do everything on stream, so everything's recorded. There's a VOD out there of as much as I can get out there. And hopefully somebody finds it useful. I certainly hope so. I hope people are finding it useful. I know quite a few people do come and hang out and watch. And I do get a handful of views on all the VODs too, so somebody is out there rewatching the VODs. But yeah, I'm just glad people are finding it useful. Alright, well, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back Thursday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to finish this event log logic and then start moving on to some of the other quests. So we'll start hashing out what other things Amber can give you to do besides just going to fetch rocks. Maybe we'll start looking at what to do with the med bay. And yeah, just figure out the middle part here of doing all the dirty work to collect the money and whatnot, so we can get to the end of this chapter, which is getting off this planet. So hopefully we can get there sometime soon, in the next month or so. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting all stream. It definitely helps me not feel like I'm just talking to myself the whole time if there's somebody here in chat. So thank you for hanging out. And I'll see you on Thursday. Have a good rest of your evening. Bye.
Chrissy.